now the skin is prepped with the Pro Collagen Marine Cream and Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer, I'm going to add a little blob of NARS Tinted Moisturiser and the NARS Super Illuminating Booster products together on the back of my hand. Grab a foundation brush, starting in the centre of the face because that's where you need the most coverage, and spread the product outwards. And once you've got a good coverage all over the skin, you can then start to buff in circular motions. So this product just gives a really nice light glow and a nice light coverage. So next step, now that you've done your base, is your concealer. So this is the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. So it's quite a nice, good coverage. Couple of dots underneath the eye. You can either use your finger to blend this in, but I'm going to use a brush. So this just takes away any sort of dark circles, any shadow underneath the eye area. You can just use a concealer on its own as well, but it just lifts away those dark, tired eyes. Okay, so now your concealer's done. I'm then going to move on to Marc Jacobs bronzer, Tantalised bronzer. Looks like that. Using a nice big bronzer brush, tap on the product. I always tap off some of the makeup as well so it's not too heavy when you first go on. With a bronzer you want to apply it anywhere where you're naturally going to catch the sunlight. So you start on the forehead, sweep across, onto the cheek, under the jawline. So again, onto the forehead, cheek, jawline. And then you go down the centre of the nose to your chin, because you directly catch the sun onto the forehead and down the centre of the nose. So that's why you always want to start on the forehead. To connect anything from the neck and chest upwards, just to blend it all in, you can always add a bit more bronzer to your neck. Okay, so step 5 is blusher. So I'm just using a MAC blusher called Margin and a nice sort of domed blusher brush. Again, you just want a small amount on the brush, so tap it on and then tap off. You don't want to smile too much. If you were to smile too much like that, when your face drops, the blush is going to drop, so it's not going to be sitting in the right space. So it's better just to keep your face as natural as possible. Starting on the apples of the cheek, going in up circular motions, up to the temple, so using what's left on the brush, up to the temple. And that just gives a nice colour to the cheeks. So another good useful tip for when you're buying a blusher and trying to find the right shade for you. When you're in a shop or at a makeup counter trying to find the right shade, a really good top tip is if you hold up a few different tones to your face. This one's a shimmery one, so it's slightly different. But the best way to find the best one that's going to give you a natural flush rather than a real pop of colour is holding a blusher up to your natural lip tone. And if it matches your natural lip tone, then that is going to give your natural flush of colour onto the cheeks. So if you want a really nice natural look, hold up several sort of shades and tones of blushes. This one's a bit too light, whereas this is a little bit deeper like the colour of my lips. So that would be the one to give a nice natural flush of colour. So that's just a little top tip. So moving on to brows, there's all different types of products you can use. I've got a little brow wand here. That gives a really nice natural look. Or you can use eyeshadow, or you can use like brow gels as well. They're really popular and long lasting. I'm just going to use a little brow powder and just show you how to apply it. So using an angled brush, starting at the base corner of your brow, and you literally follow your natural shape of your brow and down to the end. You don't want to go too dark, you want to keep it still quite natural. You want to go a little bit, like this is quite a dark shade, but you can go lighter if you want to, if you don't want them to be too strong. So again, tap a little bit, starting at the base of the brow. Building up the colour. So in the video I've just done on brows, I'm just going to show you another little tip on what other product you could use. You can use it as well as the powder. This is a little brow setting gel. So it comes like a mascara wand. You can literally just comb that through the brows. It fixes all the hairs in place, but it also adds colour. So if you get any sort of random hairs that tend to stick up, which I do, you can just comb it through and fix them in place. It's also a really nice product if you don't want to wear any makeup, but you just want to sort of define your brows a little bit more without them looking too heavy, then that's a really, really good product. Okay, so next tip is using lip liner to get a really nice full lip, using the most of your lips. You want to get your finger, put a bit of pressure just on the top of your lip. You can see there that's plumping it up. And at the bottom. So by just doing that, it plumps out the lips. So put your finger on just near the lip line. And then you can just connect the corners up at the ends. And there you've got your full lip. And just to finish off the lip liner tip, I'm just going to apply my lipstick to my lips. And that lip liner gives you a good idea of how far to go to. So it sort of keeps you within the line so you don't go over that lip line. And then just to create a sharper lip line, you can then go back over, making sure it's all nice and even. Lip liner also really helps the lipstick to last a lot longer as well. You can also just use your lip liner all over the lips. If you just really like the colour and it's still quite hydrating, you can just draw it all over the lips, and that way you get a really good long lasting lipstick. So just finishing off this first look of tutorials and little tips and hints on how to apply the makeup. This is just a really nice natural everyday summer spring look by adding a pop of colour to your lips, keeping it really nice and natural everywhere else. So just to finish off, I'm just going to apply a bit of mascara, making sure you wriggle it right through the root of the lashes, right to the tip. You can lift up your eyelid just so you can really see and grab every single lash. And you just want to keep building that product up as you go along until you're happy that you've got a nice full lash.